Hi, everybody. I'm here to follow up on a comment I received on the response video to Why Don't Americans Speak More Languages? Just a quick little thing, because I thought that this person, Cecile, from France, brought up some really good points. First was the joke that you've probably seen already if you follow my Instagram. An American friend from Colorado once told me this joke. How do you call a person who speaks 3 languages a polyglot? A person who speaks 2 languages, a bilingual. A person who speaks only 1 language, an American. And I think that's funny because it's true. Obviously not true of everyone, but maybe, just maybe, a lot of Americans only speak 1 language. We'll never know for sure because you'd have to survey every single American, and that may be too many to actually do. But on to the actual post. She says, I started to learn English at 11 and learnt it until I was 19. Can I just say that I love the way that you spell learnt? Because in my experience in life, and in the area where I used to live in Maryland, I heard people say learnt it and seen it and things like that. So I appreciate your knowledge of the American English language, Cecile. So, continuing, most of the French people learn English for 7 years at school. So that's a big difference between France and the United States, because when I was in high school, probably about 20 years ago at this point, I'm getting old, I know, the requirement was just 2 years. You could take more, obviously, and I'm not sure whether the 7 years was the requirement or whether Cecile took more, but even so, I am sure there's a huge difference between the language requirements of the United States and those of France, for instance. And if you continue, the difference grows even more. And they learn a second foreign language for 6 years. So it's, you can just see where France's priorities are. And probably because they have to be, because they're so closely located to other countries, and because English pervades a lot of media and social media throughout the world, which actually Cecile goes on to say, so I'll just continue. English isn't much complicated for French people to learn, at least to be able to communicate in a simple way. And I think that's true. I think once you have the basics of English, you can get your message across pretty easily. I would say, though, I think Spanish is probably the easiest language to learn, in my opinion. To continue, in France, we're surrounded every day by American and British music, for example. A lot of movies can be watched on the original soundtrack, too. So this goes to the point that I was just saying, that English tends to be a dominant language throughout the world because of media. And the last point, English is a universal language nowadays. It's the easiest way to communicate. I think it's essential to learn English. Thank you for your videos. Cecile, thank you for the comment. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, that about covers that. I think she brings up some really good points. And honestly, I think we could make a whole video just around the education aspects of other countries compared to the United States. In fact, let's do that. If you're watching this video and you live in a country outside of the United States, or you live in the United States and you know for a fact that the language requirements are different than what I had when I was in high school 20 years ago, please let me know. So if you live outside of the country, let us know what country you live in, what the language requirements are, what languages you had as options, and which one you decided to go for. And if you're in the United States, identify what state you live in and what the language requirement is and what language you chose. All right, thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned something. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Bye.